yogis. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be here. This is my second class working through YouTube. I hope this works. I hope you're all well. I hope you're staying calm and sane during this crazy, crazy time. So let's do a little yoga. I miss you, please know that. And please make sure you modify any pose or adjust the pose based on how you're feeling today and based on what your body needs. That's most important. My cues are really to help you get the most benefit from the pose and also to make sure you don't get hurt. But otherwise, you listen to your voice first and foremost. So let's start in extended child's pose. Knees nice and wide on the mat. Toes touching if you can. Take a big inhale and then exhale, shift those hips back towards your heels and allow your arms to stretch out on the mat. Lower your head. Connect your forehead to the mat if you can. If you can't, let your head be heavy. And breathe here. Trying to let your mind let go of any of the worries, any of the concerns that may be floating through your head. Know that you are in a safe and gentle space. And breathe. As you lengthen and deepen your breath, create even length inhales and exhales, Samavriti breath. If it helps you to count to 4 or 5 to focus on that even length, then count to yourself. And as you know, yoga offers us the opportunity to increase our flexibility and our resilience and our strength. And now those qualities are needed more than ever. So today as we practice, let's focus on not only flexibility and resilience and strength of the body, but also of the mind. And breathe. If you would like to set an intention, keep your elbows on the mat, but lift your hands, joining them in prayer above your head, keeping your head low on the mat. Hands together in prayer and breathe a big intention, fill up and let it go. And again, breathe it in. And breathe it out. Releasing your arms to the mat, shifting up to tabletop, bringing your knees so they're stacked under the hips and wrists directly under shoulders. Take some time here to organically move your hips, to let them sway left to right, or even do a circle or a figure 8 to loosen up the hip area. And then extend your right toes long on the mat and cross them over behind you, just slightly outside of the mat, and look back at that foot. So you're getting a big banana shape from the top of your head down to your heel, side body length. And inhale, bring the toes back to the mat behind you, And exhale, round the back, scoop out the belly, knee to nose. And inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, knee to nose, round the back. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Long neck, looking down at the top of the mat. Exhale, last time, round the back. Inhale, lengthen the leg, nice and strong. Reach the opposite arm forward in a balance. Tighten those abdominal muscles. And exhale, hand and knee to the mat. We'll do the other side. Extend your left toes long on the mat and then reach them outside of the mat. Toes still on the floor, and look back at those toes. So you're creating length along the left side body this time. Next breath, bring your toes back to the mat and then lift the leg any amount off of the mat. And exhale, round the back, scoop out the belly, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lengthen. Last time, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. This time, reach the opposite arm forward. Pull in those core muscles. Let them support your spine. And breathe through it. And exhale, hand and knee to the mat. Now let's do cow and cat. Loosen up the back. Get it all warmed up. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, heart shines forward. Exhale, cat pose. Lift the back and chin to the chest. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, belly low. And exhale, round the back, lift it up to the sky. And exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands outside to the right side of the mat. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, let those hips shift back towards the heels. Side body lengthen the left side, head looking down. Inhale, come up. Walk your hands across to the opposite side, outside of the mat on the left. And exhale, hips back towards the heels, head low, arms stretched out. Inhale, lift up, and walk your hands back to the center of the mat. And then lift up so that you are kneeling upright on your knees, as if you are in church. Place your hands on the low part of the back, fingers pointing down. Heart opener here. Press your elbows together behind you, opening across the chest. And look up, open the throat. Lean back a little bit if you like. Option to do a modified camel, curling the toes with your toes on the mat so it lifts the heels. You can reach back, right hand to right heel, and left arm lifts. And then switch hands, left hand to left heel, right arm lifts towards the sky, half camel. And exhale, both hands release down to the mat. Walk your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat. We'll move into down dog here, yogis. Curl the toes, inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. If you'd like to walk your dog by pedaling out your feet a little bit, let those hamstrings get length. Feel the length from the tailbone all the way down the back to the fingertips on the mat. And if you'd like to, lift your feet up to the tippy toes and then press those heels back down to the mat to get length in the back line of the body. Feel free. And we'll move into sun salutations. So on the inhale, look at your hands. Exhale, bend the knees, travel to the top of the mat, forward fold. I'm going to turn this way. Inhale lifts you halfway, flat back, hands resting on shins or on knees. Flat back, exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhale, lift up. Exhale, mini back bend, cactus arms. Open the throat, look up. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands through heart, forward fold. Inhale lifts you halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to high plank pose. Yogis, you know that you can float here in high plank if you like, or transition to down dog, or follow through your flow, Chaturanga Dandasana, and upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, and let it go. Again, inhale, and let it go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees and step or hop to the top of the mat, forward fold. Utkatasana, lifting halfway on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Keeping those shoulders away from ears and pressing your feet into the mat. Rock back and forth, front to back a little bit so you can really press all corners of your feet into the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows, mini back bend. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands through heart, forward fold. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to high plank pose. Flow through Chaturanga Dandasana and up dog if you like, or go straight to down dog. Take a big breath in and let it go. Again, fill up and let it go. On the next inhale, walk your hands back to your feet, hands on the mat, toe heel your feet hip distance or even wider apart. Bend your knees as much as you like, Ragdoll Pose. Hands on elbows, releasing your low back by bending the knees deeply. And let your head be heavy and your neck be loose. And fold. Releasing your hands to the mat. Walk your left hand so it's on the mat under the chin and put a slight bend in the left knee. As you inhale, reach up with the right arm and twist. Roll out your wrist if you like. Exhale, switch hands, right hand to the mat. Bend in the right knee. Inhale, left arm lifts. Roll out the wrist. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Toe heel your feet closer together. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhale, lift up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, mini back bend. Inhale, arms lift. This time, let's spread the arms wide, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to high plank pose. Flow through your vinyasa or flow straight to down dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here, yogis, and we'll move into our standing sequence. So big breath in. And exhale. Again, inhale. And let it go. Inhale, the right leg lifts, nice and straight and strong, pointing the toes. And exhale, step your foot towards your hands, pause in low lunge. Place the weight in your left hand as you inhale, the right arm lifts. Exhale, hands to the mat. Maybe step hop your back foot a little wider so that when you inhale and lift to high lunge, your feet are on two different tracks. It provides a really wide, stable base for you. Exhale, you're going to twist right arm back, left arm forward. Squeeze your inner thigh muscles and stretch those arms in opposite directions. Now listen, inhale, come up and swirl around to reverse warrior, lifting that right arm up to the ceiling, bending the right knee. Exhale, extended side angle. Tick-tock your arms so that your right arm would be at 6 o'clock and your left arm at 12. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the front leg, tick-tock the arms, right arm is lifted. Exhale, warrior two. From here, yogis, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, pause in low lunge once again, and then step back to downward facing dog. Let's breathe in, big breath, fill up. And exhale it out. Again, inhale. And let it go. Next breath, lifts the left leg high, nice and straight and strong. And exhale, step your foot towards your hands. Pause in low lunge here. Weight goes in the right hand on the mat. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Hop your back foot a little wider towards the edge of the mat, and then inhaling, lift up to high lunge or crescent lunge. Back heel is lifted, back leg is straight. The front knee is directly above the front ankle. We're going to twist left, so my back will turn towards you, left arm back, right arm forward. Listen for the change. Inhale, sweep the arms up, open to reverse warrior. Left arm is lifted like you're high-fiving the back wall. Keep the bend in the left knee. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward, then lower the left arm. You can rest that left arm on your bent leg if you like, but try not to dump your weight into that. It's just a little bit of stability. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle, left arm lifts, right hand very gently touching the back leg, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, bend the knee, warrior two. Take a big breath in, and exhale, windmill those hands down to the mat, pause in low lunge. Weight is your right hand as you lift the left arm up. Exhale, both hands to the mat, and step back to downward facing dog. Nice job, everybody. We'll keep on moving now that we're all warmed up. So take 2 breaths here first. Inhale, and let it go. Again, breathe in, find length, lift the hips, and let it go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, travel to the top of the mat, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway, and forward fold. Inhale, lifts you to chair pose, Utkatasana. So, look down at your feet. If you can see your toes, you're in good shape. If you can't quite see your toes, send your hips back towards the back of the mat. That moves your knees out of your line of vision. Arms can be lifted or at your heart. Exhale, airplane arms. Reach those palms behind you and press your pinky fingers together. We're going to pulse those 8 times. Keeping the bend in your knees and most of the weight in your heels, we're going to pulse. Ready? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, pulse your pinkies together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And sweep the arms up, Tadasana, straighten the legs, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale lifts you halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, and breathe out. Again, inhale, and let it go. Inhale, lift the right leg high. As you breathe out, step your foot towards your hands. Press your left foot behind you entirely into the mat. And inhale, lift up, warrior one. Hips focus forward. So if that's not quite happening for you, toe heel your front foot a little wider. And then arms lift overhead. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. We're working towards humble warrior. Press those knuckles down towards the floor and look up. And then on the next breath, as you breathe out, lower the crown of your head slowly with control, lower your body, allowing your shoulder to touch your knee. And keep your hands lifted behind your back. Look down at the mat or at your back foot. Humble warrior. We'll stay here for one more breath. Release your hands to the mat. Straighten your front leg. Aim all 10 toes towards the top of your mat. Both legs are straight, pyramid pose. Hold your ankle if you prefer, if you can't quite touch the mat. And fold over your front leg. You can choose how long or how short you want your stance to be. You can lengthen it or shorten it. On the inhale, begin to walk your hands to the top of the mat and put a bend in your front knee. Transfer your weight to the right foot as you lift the left leg entirely off of the mat so that your legs make the letter L, standing splits. And then step your left foot next to your right and slowly roll up, coming to a standing position. Roll out your shoulders. Everybody doing okay? Thumbs up, I hope so. Roll out those shoulders, maybe do some full arm circles if you like. Front to back and back to front. And then bring your hands to heart, Samasthiti. Soften your eyes or look down. Bring to mind your intention that you set earlier today. Take a few moments to breathe. And release your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms lift, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. As you breathe out, step your foot towards your hands and press your right foot entirely into the mat. And then inhale, lift, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back and press them down towards the mat. Inhale, look up. And exhale with control, humble warrior, slowly lower until your shoulder meets your knee. And you're in this low lunge with your hands lifted behind your back. Release your hands to the mat, yogis. Spin your back foot so all 10 toes are pointing forward. Lengthen or shorten your stance. Pyramid pose, front leg is straight. You don't have to lock it. You can choose to put a mini bend in that front knee. Pyramid pose. On the next breath, begin to bend your left knee and walk your hands forward. Then lift the left leg up in the air so that your legs make the letter L. And breathe here and hold. A little challenge if you want to remove one hand from the mat and hold your ankle with one hand or both. And then release the hands to the mat. Step your right foot next to your left and slowly roll up, coming to a standing position. Once you're upright, inhale, arms lift overhead, Tadasana. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift to chair pose once again. Letting your seat stick out towards the back of the room. Big bend in those knees. Exhale, airplane arms. We're going to pulse those fingers once again, those pinkies towards each other. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale, lift up. Nice job. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. Step back to high plank pose. Now here we are, yogis, in high plank. We're going to hold it for a bit. Take a big breath in and breathe out. Your back nice and flat, your hips low, heels pressed towards the back of the mat. Inhale, breathe, and exhale, lower in a straight line or lower your knees to the mat, coming all the way down to your belly. And we're going to do Sphinx pose. So your legs can be as far apart as you like. Your elbows directly under shoulders, forearms pressed into the mat, palms pressed into the mat as well. Very gentle back bend here. Shine your heart forward, look forward, and breathe. And release your left cheek to the mat. Allow your arms to rest along your sides. Take a few breaths here. This time, yogis, place your hands underneath your shoulders and situate your legs so they're zipped really tight. We'll do Cobra, and this time we're going to interlace our hands behind our back, just like we did for Humble Warrior. So your palms are squeezing towards one another. You're peeling your chest off of the mat, any amount, keeping your arms nice and straight and strong. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And keep your neck long, so looking in front of the top of the mat. One more breath. And exhale, right cheek to the mat. And breathe. Bringing your chin to the center of the mat and your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift, and move into puppy dog pose. So your arms are long on the mat, your hips above your knees, and you're lowering your head. So it's literally like down dog on your knees. Release your head towards the mat. Bring your hands in closer as you lift your head off of the mat and curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take a big breath in and let it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back towards your feet and slowly roll up to a standing position. Wardrobe adjustment, pulling your shirt and your jacket down. Step towards the long edge of the mat, heels in, toes out. We're going to move into horse pose and we're going to do a little twist with horse today. So bring your hands to heart, bend your knees nice and wide, maybe straddle the horse for a second and move left to right a little bit just to get a little loose. And then come back to center. Inhale to prepare, and on the exhale you're going to twist right, keeping your hands at your heart, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Ready? Inhale to prepare. Right exhale. Inhale, center. Left exhale. Inhale, center. Right. Center. Left. Center. One more time. Right. Center. And left. Center. Nice. Inhale, star pose. Arms reach to the corners of the room, legs nice and straight. Look up. And then bring your hands to your hips. Pivot your feet so that your feet are parallel. Maybe your toes point in even a little bit. Place your arms so that they make a T out from your shoulders. We're going to do a wide straddle fold. Inhale, palms flip up as you look up and pull the belly in. Exhale, moving intentionally, flat back. Palms flip back down and lower until your hands reach your ankles or your mat. And you can choose to walk towards one foot and then walk towards the other foot. Or my personal favorite, wide down dog, walk forward with your hands. Oh yeah. And when you're ready, bring your hands towards the mat under your shoulders, soften your knees, toe heel your feet closer together until it's comfortable for you to roll up, coming to a standing position. And then we'll move into balance. So let's do tree pose today. The left foot will be the foot that's rooted into the earth. So we'll start with hands at heart and kickstand the right foot. You can stay right here. I'm actually going to step off of my mat to get a little more stability here. Kickstand your foot or lift it any amount, avoiding the knee, of course. Keep your knee open. Work both legs here, yogis, so that the standing leg is pressing into the bent leg and the bent leg is pressing back into that standing leg. And then if you choose, you can grow your branches. Finding a focal point in front of you, a drishti, really helps. And then you can choose any arm variation you like. Keep your knee open. Pull in the belly. One more breath. And exhale, bring the hands to heart, the knee to center, and both feet to the mat, and shake it all out. Good job. I'm assuming you're doing a good job because I have confidence in you. Other side, rooting your right foot into the earth. Kickstand the left. And then lift that foot if you like. And lift your arms if you like. We are getting buds on the trees, so maybe wiggle your fingers to show that buds are growing. One more breath. Bring the knee to center, hands to heart, and both feet to the earth. Nice job. Shake it all out. We will have a seat on the mat, so find a comfortable seat. Actually, let's put our soles of our feet together. Baddha Kunasana or bound angle pose. So let your knees fall open, but keep the length in your spine. Or you can choose to scoop your hands under your calves and fold forward and touch your feet and fold. You choose which way you prefer to do the pose. We'll breathe here for a few breaths. When you're ready, yogis, place your hands under your knees so you can close your knees and come closer to the top of the mat because you'll be rolling back onto your back. You want plenty of space for your back. Let's do a little core work here. Let's do boat pose. So push your hands in your pits of your knees here. Try to stay up nice and tall on your sitting bones without leaning too far back. Lifting one shin so it's parallel to the ceiling, and then lifting the other. Really use your core muscles here to support you. Keep your feet together. Then if you choose to release your arms, either forward or out to the sides, and look up. You can straighten your legs if you like. And exhale, bring the feet to the mat, and then roll all the way back to your back on the mat. And we'll move into bridge pose. So bring your feet close to your seat. Your feet spread about 6 inches apart, maybe 5 inches apart. Inhale, press your feet into the mat, lift your hips. Keeping space between your chin and your chest. And you can shimmy your shoulders together and interlace your fingers under your back so you get a little more height. Using your feet to keep pressing into the mat. That activates the quadriceps here. And release your hands from under your back. Slowly release your back to the mat. Let your knees flap together and let them drift side to side. And then we'll do supine half pigeon. So keep your left foot on the mat with the knee bent. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. You can stay right here, yogis, supine half pigeon, or you can bring your legs closer together, holding onto your left thigh and keeping your feet flexed to protect your knees, and breathe. Releasing your left foot to the mat, uncross and switch. Right foot is on the mat, cross your left ankle above that right leg. If you choose to bring your legs closer to you, hold on to your right thigh. You can straighten that right leg if you like. And release your right foot to the mat, your left foot as well. Then float both feet up to the sky, legs up the wall. If you like to do a shoulder stand or plow pose, now is your chance. If you'd rather just hang out here and chill, allowing your blood flow to reverse from your feet all the way down to your heart. That's what this pose is for. Really good for people who spend a lot of time seated at a desk or in a car. And when you're ready, transition into happy baby, bending the knees, taking a hold of your feet. And sway if you like, or stay still. Release your hands from your feet and tee your arms on the floor, keeping your knees bent at your chest. We're going to do a twist a little bit differently today. Inhale to prepare, exhale, let both knees drift together towards the floor, but don't let them touch. Let them hover just above the floor. That means you need your core muscles to help you stay on your mat. And inhale, coming back to center, and then exhale, let the knees drift the other way. And don't let them touch the floor. Hover them as low as you can above the floor. Keeping your shoulders on the mat. Inhale, come back to center. And now, yogis, I assume you are ready for your final Shavasana. Find any comfortable pose you like on the mat. Let your feet flop open. Soften every muscle in the body, especially the space between the eyebrows and the muscles along the jaw. And breathe. To wake up your hands and your feet and reaching overhead for a full body stretch, pointing the toes first and then pressing the heels towards the top of the mat. Reach, and as you exhale, bend the knees, bend your arms, allow one arm to be your pillow, move into a fetal position, and know that you are resilient, you are strong, you are flexible. Allowing your arms to help you press up to come to a comfortable seat. Any comfortable seat that you like. Softening your eyes, placing your hands at your heart so your thumbs are pressed against your heart. Thank you for joining me. I wish you health and happiness as we try to struggle through this crazy time together. Know that my thoughts are with you. Lifting your hands from your heart to your forehead. May we close in gratitude. Namaste.